Good day, everyone, and I welcome you to the continuation of the series on the spinal cord anatomy. In the previous videos, we have looked at the spinal cord, the external structure of the spinal cord, the division of the spinal cord, and some other things related to the anatomy of the spinal cord. But in this video, I'll be talking about the internal anatomy of the spinal cord. It will be like a repeat of what I have talked about in the previous video. But I'll also be mentioning some major tracts that are found in the spinal cord also. So let's get into it. The internal structure of the spinal cord is organized into gray matter and white matter. Yes, I have the gray matter, the white matter. The gray matter is majorly made up of neuronal cell bodies and synapses, while the white matter is made up of myelinated axons that forms the ascending and descending tract. So it's that ascending and descending tract I'm going to be talking about also in this video. The gray matter, just like I said in my previous video, that it's H-shaped, or you can call it butterfly-shaped region. It's a butterfly-shaped region of the spinal cord, and it's centered. It's in the center of the spinal cord. And one of the components of this gray matter, we have the dorsal or posterior horn, and the function of that dorsal horn is to receive sensory input from the dorsal root fibers. We have the ventral horn or the anterior horn, and this horn contains somatic motor neurons that send axons through the ventral root to the skeletal muscles that are found in the body. Then we have the lateral horn. Lateral horn contains preganglionic sympathetic neurons and the intermediate zone. It's made up of interneurons that coordinate reflexes. Yes, it coordinates reflexes. It links the motor neurons to the sensory neurons. That's the function. Then we also have central canal. The central canal is filled with CSF, and it is found in the gray commissure that connects the right and left sides of the gray matter. Dorsal horn is majorly involved with sensory processing. Ventral horn, motor output. Lateral horn, autonomic or sympathetic output. While the gray commissure, it majorly serves as the communication, a link between the right and the left gray matter. Now moving on to white matter. White matter surrounds the gray matter. Now the way this thing is, the spinal cord, is that the gray matter is in the inner part, the white matter surrounds it. When you get to the brain, reverse is the case. You have the gray matter surrounding the white matter. But in the spinal cord, the gray matter is found in the central part, while the white matter surrounds the gray matter. Now, the white matter, it's made up of myelinated and unmyelinated axons, also glial cells. Now, even though the white matter is divided into what we call funiculi or columns. It's splitted into columns, funiculi. We have the dorsal posterior funiculus. It's majorly made up of sensory tracts, those tracts that are involved with processing of sensory information. The lateral funiculus. This lateral funiculus contains both sensory and motor tracts. While the ventral funiculus or the ventral anterior funiculus is mostly motor tract. It's mostly made up of motor tract. So if you look at it, let's take it again. The dorsal funiculus is mainly made up of sensory tract. The lateral funiculus is made up of both sensory and motor tracts, while the ventral or anterior funiculus is made up of mostly motor tract. So one is sensory, one is both sensory and motor, and the last one is only mostly motor tract. Now, major white matter tract. Let's look at the major ones that you need to know. And the first one here is dorsal column. And this dorsal column is a combination was made up of fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cunatus. Fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cunatus. And the main function of this tract, this ascending sensory tract, is to receive sensations of fine touch, vibrations, and proprioception. It carries these sensation stimulus that have to do with fine touch, vibrations, and proprioception. Then we have spinal thalamic tract. Spinal thalamic tract, the function is related to pain, temperature, and crude touch. Spinal thalamic tract. The last one is spinocerebellar tract. The spinocerebellar tract is majorly involved with muscle coordination and balance. Those are the three major white matter tracts that have to do with ascending or sensory tract. Then for the descending or motor tract, the descending or motor tract, they are involved with motor functions. The ascending are involved with sensory functions. Now, the descending motor tract, we have this cortical spinal tract. The cortical spinal tract, and it has both the lateral and ventral part of the tract, and it is majorly involved with voluntary motor control. Voluntary motor control. Then reticulospinal tract. Reticulospinal tract is involved with posture and reflex modulation. Posture, the posture, maintaining posture and also reflex, controlling reflex. Then vestibulospinal tract. Vestibulospinal tract is involved with balance and equilibrium. Balance and equilibrium. So these are the major tracts, major white matter tract that you need to know. The dorsal column, made up of fasciculus, gracilis, and cuneatus. The spinal thalamic tract, made up of that is involved with pain, temperature, and crude touch. The spinocerebellar tract, involved with muscle coordination and balance. Those are for ascending. So we can use the mnemonic DSS, dorsal column, spinal thalamic tract, spinocerebellar tract. Then for the descending tract, descending motor tract, we have cortical spinal tract, reticulospinal tract, and vestibulospinal tract. Let's call that one CRV. CRV. Corticospinal tract for voluntary motor control, reticulospinal tract for posture and reflex modulation, vestibulospinal tract for balance and equilibrium. Now we have spinal roots and nerves. From each of these spinal cord segments, we have spinal roots and nerves that originate from them. And one of them is the dorsal root or the dorsal post, or you call it the posterior root. These dorsal roots are they majorly give off sensory fibers. Yes, they give off sensory fibers, and these sensory fibers, they enter the dorsal horn, and their cell bodies are found in the dorsal root ganglion. Dorsal roots that originate from the spinal cord are sensory. They give off sensory fibers, and these sensory fibers, they enter the dorsal horn, and their cell bodies are found in the dorsal root ganglion. Then we have the ventral root or the anterior root. This anterior root or ventral root, they give off motor fibers, and these motor fibers, they exit the ventral horn to get to the skeletal muscles, because they have to control motor.